Hi there, and welcome to the first installment on my series on modeling a house in SketchUp. This is going to be the first full model that I'm doing on YouTube, and it's going to be a series of videos. They're all going to be fairly long, as this process does take a little while. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be modeling a house from beginning to end, from foundation to roof, everything except for screws and nails, I'm pretty sure. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and keep watching. That's what you're going to get. And let's go ahead and just get started here. I went ahead and found a set of plans online that I'm going to be working off of. So I'm not just winging this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to import that file. Let's see here. I believe it's a PNG. Where do I get? I'm sorry, I never, here we go. I believe that's the one. Okay, we're going to scale that to fit here. We're going to change the scale in just a moment, but what I want to show you is that I've just got this image in here, and this is what we're going to be working off of for our floor plans. So one thing you'll notice is that this is in metric. I believe this is a set of European plans. And I don't work in metric, given that I live in the United States. So I'm going to be working in imperial units. So I hope it doesn't offend anybody. If it does, tough beans, you're getting this for free. So let's go ahead and get this scaled here. So what I'm going to do is I know that this front door here is supposed to be 36 inches right here. So I'm going to draw a line that is from there to there, 36 inches. So you can see we're off fairly dramatically. So let's go ahead and get this scaled. And there are probably better ways to do it than what I'm doing, but for our purposes, this should be fairly good. If a lot of times when I'm working on this kind of thing, we're almost there. When I'm working on this kind of thing, I'll actually import a DWG from AutoCAD. So working with an image overlay is an interesting thing because you have this issue of the resolution of your raster that you're working with. You see it gets all pixelated as I scroll in, and that means that there's some point at which I can no longer be accurate with tracing lines on this. And that's fine as far as I'm concerned, just for this, because of what I'm going to be doing with it, which is just a simple model for demonstration purposes. But if you're actually trying to be accurate with this, this is not the way to do it. You want to be working off of vector art if you want to be accurate, maximally accurate. Okay, so it looks like we got this scaled at this point. I'm going to go ahead and erase my little line there. We're going to take this, oops, tell what I've been using by the keyboard shortcuts that I try and employ. And I'm going to actually open up a couple different dialogues here. I'm going to open up the layer dialog. It's under window, you go to layers, pull that open. I'm going to go to Entity Info, pull this up as well. And for right now, I think that should do it. I'm going to make a new layer here. We're going to call this backgrounds. 2 R's. Okay. And that is where this is going to live. So now let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to make another layer. We're just going to call it outline. And it's going to be exactly what it sounds like. It's going to be just an outline. One of the things I like about this floor plan is that even though it's got these jogs in the floors are all fairly identical. They stack pretty well. So what that's going to mean is that I can make this outline and I can stack it up and just pull it over, pull everything around, and I can make sure that I've got the appropriate size of floor. Whereas if I were to trace each one of these, they would each be just a little bit off, and because of that my house would look funky. So let's get started here. Yeah, just draw a line from there. There's no way this, if you were framing this, you'd make a wall that's 15'7" and 11/16. That's crazy. So I'm gonna go 15'6" and pull it down, and that is going to be 72 inches, and that's going to come over to 19'6". It's going to come up 12 inches. It's going to come over 16 feet. It's going to come down 20 feet. Looks like I was off by about 6 inches there. We can move that back. It's going to come over 6 inches. Down 14'6". I'm going to go ahead and fix this really quick while it's fresh on my mind. I'm going to move that up 6 inches. There we go. That's going to come over 16 feet. And down 12 inches. Over 4'6". Down 2 foot. Oops. I mistyped there. I got a microphone in the way of my length dialogue. Makes things exciting. Okay. And I'm going to, at this point, infer over here. I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to take a line, snap a line. We make this 10'6". We're going to say that's going to come down there. We know what we want this to come off 36 inches. And that's fine. We want this to be 36 inches. 36 inches. And now, if we go to make our lines, we got some good construction lines to snap to. And that should be nice and clean. That's going to be 48 inches. And that's going to be right there. This is going to be 17'6". I'm going to actually just draw right through that chimney. That's going to be 25 feet. That's going to come in 12 inches. And that should match up. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my construction lines there. I don't need those anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and take this whole thing and put it, where did my entity info go? I must have pressed escape. Stick that on outline. I'm going to make that into a group. And I'm going to actually just delete the fill on that really quick. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to offset it 6 inches. Actually, you know, I don't think we need that. We don't need it offset. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to change this to background L0. I'm going to make 2 more here. Background L1, background L2. There we go. You move these up and down? I guess you can't. And I'm actually going to make copies of these. Move that vertically. That's going to come up 120 inches and 240 inches. Okay, and this one's going to be level 1, and this one is going to be level 2, and we can go ahead and just turn those off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to that corner there. I'm going to take this and move a copy of that up 120. We have these 3 outlines now. So here's the foundation of our building. These are the floors that we're going to be working off of. So I'm going to start on, I'm actually going to rename these ones as well, L0. L2, okay. I'm going to take this one, stick that on outline L1. Super obnoxious that this thing keeps on disappearing. Okay, and now I can turn those off and we can work with just level 1. Let's get this all squared up here. Just kind of eyeball it, right? That's the best we can do with a raster. Just eyeball it. Okay. And we know these are gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line here. Right there. I'm going to get rid of that, and we're going to go ahead and offset this 18 inches, which is what it looks like it is. So let's take a look here and see where we're at. So far, so good. Get rid of that fill again. And I'm going to go ahead and start drawing in these window openings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a measuring tool here and I'm going to measure in. This says 6'10". I guess that works. Let's go 6'10". And that's going to be a 48-inch window. pull a line off this. 17'6". It's also going to be a 48-inch window. Pull a line off that. It's going to be 7 feet. That's a 48-inch window. So it's going to be 5'6" with a 48-inch window. Let's just start drawing some of these windows in really quick, just to get them in. Okay, I can get rid of my existing construction lines here real fast. One thing you'll notice is that everything I'm drawing right now is on layer 0, even though the objects themselves are living on these other layers. To the best of my understanding, layer 0 functions like it does in AutoCAD. So let's go ahead and keep drawing windows here. 5'6", 48, 4'6", 48, 30 inches, 48 inches, 6'6", 48 inches. And here we go. Go ahead and erase these construction lines. I don't need those anymore. Let's get this last window in and then we'll loft some walls. So 6, 48. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut those. I'm going to paste them right on there. All right. So we got that all done. Let's go ahead and loft some walls for this basement here. In order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and just heal these walls real quick. And now we'll use the push-pull tool and we'll pull up these walls. I'm trying to remember, let's say 96 inches. Okay. We'll bring this up 30, it's not 36, it's 32. Okay, let's go ahead and heal these walls up. And we'll work on the inside here. I like to keep nice clean geometry, that way things don't get all crazy when you get more complicated shapes happening. You don't wind up pulling something and it ruins the geometry of the rest of your building. Okay, looks good. Now let's go ahead and put the sills on these things. So I'm going to draw a rectangle like that. There, there. Oops. Getting sloppy. Okay, we don't need that. Or that, or that, or that, or that. Or that, or that. Okay, we're going to use the push-pull tool here again. And I'm actually going to draw a construction line vertically here first. Say we want 48-inch windows. So they're all going to be big rectangles. Actually, let's say we want them to be 5 feet tall. This is going to be an expensive house to build. Let's see. Say 4'6", compromise. Okay, push-pull tool down to there. I'll do the same on all of these. One thing you've probably immediately noticed is the color difference here, and that's because we have positive and negative faces being shown. The white sides are positive faces. The blue sides are actually negative faces. And we're going to fix that in just a minute here after we get the rest of this all cleaned up. Okay, we got that all done. So we have that as one unit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to hide the background here and erase our construction line. Come on. And push-pull a copy of this all the way down so we have solid geometry. There's some funny things happening because of that. What we'll do is we'll just heal it on the bottom here. Camera, let's look at the bottom and change it to parallel projection here. We're just going to draw some lines. There we go. Let's take this, we're going to reverse the faces. So now we have all positive faces. Switch back to our perspective drawing. And there we go. Okay, so we have that living on layer 0, and this needs to go onto a foundation layer. So we're going to call that foundation. That lives on foundation. So now we can turn the foundation on and off. And we should be good on that. Looks like some major portion here of our outline is living in foundation as well. So let's put that all on layer 0. Okay, great. Now let's go ahead and do our slab. If we want to get really fancy, we can do our footing and foundation. I don't know if we'll do that. Let's just go ahead and do the slab really quick. So I'm going to go ahead and, oops. I'm going to go ahead and trace the bottom here. And I'm going to pull that down 4 inches for our pad. Make that a group. Make that live on the foundation layer. And then, yeah, we'll worry about footings later. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and jump on level 1. I'm going to fix this really quick. I put these all on the wrong layer. Okay. So we have our foundation and we have level 1. We can pull that up to our foundation, up to level 1 in just a minute. We'll worry about that later. What we're going to do is we're going to start framing this thing. So I'm going to turn off the foundation, turn on background level 1, and we will get started here. Draw that line. I'm going to be spending a lot of time erasing things. Okay, we're going to offset this. I got thick walls on this. We're going to do this Western framing, so we're going to say 6 inches. This is a substantially larger house than I thought it was. That is okay. This must be a masonry building. Looks like all the brick there. You know, let's do it their way. Let's offset that thing. 12 inches. 12 inches. What's the thickness of a brick? Let's see. Brick dimensions. We've got 3 5/8 deep. So what we'll do is we'll, oops. Oh, come on. One more time. 3 5/8. So there's a brick. And inside of that, we're going to pull it back 1 inch for an air gap. And inside of that, we're going to pull it back 6 inches for framing. And we can get rid of all of that. Actually, just realized let's undo this a whole bunch here. That's embarrassing. We're going to offset 1 inch for an air gap, and then we're going to offset that 1/2 inch for sheeting, and then we're going to offset that 5.5 inches for 2 by 6s. And that should be our wall composition right there. So let's go ahead and start breaking out windows. Let's see here. Measuring tape tool, pull it from the side, pull it over. What do we got? 36 inches. It's going to be 4'6" with a 30-inch gap and another 4'6" window. Okay. I got that. Let's do the same thing here. That's going to be 12 inches off the wall, 18 inches wide. Looks like I'm off by some amount there, but I'm okay with that. Let's keep on working on the door here. The door is going to be 7'6", and we know the door is 36 inches. Looks like I overscaled it slightly. From there we're going to have 60 inches. Actually, we want that to be symmetrical on both sides. So we're going to pull this. I guess they don't want it symmetrical on both sides. We're going to pull this 24 inches. Oh, come on. I think it's being a little jerk. Let's see. Okay. Moving right along. I'm actually going to get rid of this thing here, and we'll come back to that another time. Okay, measuring tape, pull from the edge. It's going to be 60 inches. It's a nice big window here. It's going to be 72. There's a kitchen with only one window. Hopefully that's south facing. There's another exterior door, so that's got to be 36 inches. So let's go ahead and pull a line over. It's going to be 30 inches to there, 36 inches to there. And this window is going to be 4'6" to there, and 4'6" across. Okay, we got 2 more faces of the house and then we're done with this part. We can start lofting walls. Now let's see here. Measuring tape, 30 inches. This could be 48. Oops. Inch window, 36 inches. I got some funny sized windows in here. Make this a 48 again. Yeah, it's definitely off. Weird. $4'6". Okay, it looks like this is a big glass window, so we're not going to frame that. We're going to go ahead and use our ruler, bring a line over 9 inches. And it looks like this wall is going to extend back, so we won't worry about that. What we'll do is we'll just cut a line like that, and a line right there. Get rid of that whole thing. Looks like there's a bit of a jog, but we're going to assume that there isn't. And what we'll do is pull this back and say how far back is that? It's 10'6". Pull straight back. Pull straight back. There we go. We'll have to do a little interior framing on that as well, but that should be fairly good. Okay. Home stretch here. I need to bind this to another keyboard shortcut so I don't have to keep on going to it. 24 inches, 36 inches, no, 30 inches. There we go. Okay, 4 more windows. Okay. Now, with the exception of the chimney, we've got the whole thing outlined, which means that now what we can do is we can turn that background off. We got this to work on top of, and we can start framing. So we're going to make a new layer here called framing. And that's where we want to be working. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a 2x6. A 2x6 is 1.5 by 5.5 inches because, you know, it's a 2x6. Nominal dimensions. And we're going to pull this up and we're going to make this a 12-footer. Oops. Not a 12-incher, a 12-footer. I'm going to take this whole thing and I'm going to make it into a component. We're going to call it 2x6 by 12. You'll notice up to this point I've used groups for everything, and that's by design. I generally only use components for elements that are reusable. So let's go ahead and rotate this thing down 90. We're going to move it from that corner. Oh, come on. Which corner did I pick? There we go. It's the first rule of drafting that I was ever taught, and I just broke right there. Which is, never draft at arm's length. This is how it goes sometimes, I guess. So we got our outline turned on. I'm going to turn the background on as well so we can see how these things are going to relate to each other. Okay, let's go ahead and stretch this out to right there. And I'm getting a phone call, so I'll pause this. I'll be right back. And we're back. Let's see. I'm gonna wrap this up really quick. I'm gonna put the bottom plates around the exterior, and then I think we're gonna call it a video. So let's go ahead and use the rotate tool here. Make a copy of that. Bring that little stinker out. There we go. Actually, we're going to bring it back. We're going to have, it's going to have its own one here. I apologize for the barking in the background. I live in a condo, and apparently someone's dog is going crazy. Let's see. Okay. Wrong button. There we go. Now, if you really wanted to be precise with this, you could actually build components of each of the different size of dimensional lumber, and you can build it out that way. And one of the cool things about that is that you can get counts on building materials. So you can do QTO on it. Let's try that one more time here. If you take the time to model it for QTO. If you're going this far, like to the extents that I'm doing here, you might as well model it for QTO. Okay. You get some neat renders out of this though once you got it all done like this. I'm going to keep moving here. Let's see here. This is a lot of the same thing again and again and again. You'll find that when you're modeling, it's about 2% excitement and 98% monotony. The good news is sometimes it's really nice to have 98% monotony. Let's see. Could be a nice way to unwind. There we go. We're almost there. Let's see. Okay, so we got the foundation set out for the foundation. We got the base plate for the framing set up here. Let's go ahead and turn on our foundation really quick, and you can see I got that hovering on top, exactly where it's supposed to go. And in the next video, we're going to work more on the framing. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.